Welcome to Kensington Golf and Country Club. You're about to experience one of the more memorable golf courses you have ever seen. This Robert Trent Jones Jr. masterpiece is a spectacular representation of one of the world's most renowned golf course architects. Let's begin the journey. You begin your round at Kensington with a straightaway 404-yard par 4. The fairway is flanked by out of bounds to the right and water to the left, buffered by one of Kensington's most unique design features, a coquina shell waste area to the immediate right side of the lake. The second shot requires accurate club selection since you are hitting into a slightly elevated green with several strategically placed bunkers. Once on the green, your putting skill will be tested by the first of many undulating greens. The second hole is a dogleg left par 4, around water on the left and a 23-acre cypress preserve to the right of the cart path. You are now introduced to the second major design element framing the narrow fairway, the more than conspicuous moguls. Although the hole is only 368 yards, the second shot must be accurate, and you have to consider the pin position on the bi-level green and respect the many bunkers around. This is the shortest of the 5 par 3 holes at 124 yards. Your travel from tee to green is on a scenic boardwalk elevated over the nature preserve. This hole is short, but is a virtual island of its own. Fronted by preservation area and surrounded by sand, once on the green, putting challenge makes up for the short yardage. Hole number 4 has often been referred to as Kensington's signature hole. A monster 660-yard hole that exemplifies every design element that was in architect Robert Trent Jones Jr.'s vision for Kensington. The tee shot is hit to an uphill fairway which is flanked by coquina shell waste dotted with clumps of native Spartina baccari, in layman's terms, sand cordgrass, and the cypress preserve is on the right. A shot hit too far left may be out of bounds. The coquina shell waste area will eventually dissect the fairway about 160 yards from the green. Depending on your route you choose for the second shot, your approach to the green can be fairly short or very long. A back pin on the second tier of the green can lure you to be aggressive, and you may find your ball has slipped down the slope into the ball collection area behind or to the right of the green. Number 5 is the second par 3, and as is the trend, this par 3 is longer than the third hole. The green is big and receptive, but the lake on the left is quite distracting. Keep in mind, everything slopes left towards the water here. Number 6 is a beautiful dogleg left par 4 and is 424 yards long. As the hole turns left, there is a large yearning bunker that comes into play very often. It is easy to underclub here because the green is elevated and slopes from back to the very front edge. The preserve is just over the hill, short right of the green. Shots seemingly hit safely to the left center of the green often will find a collection area. For a moderate length par 4 at 417 yards, number 7 has a lot of action. Off the tee you will find bunkers and coquina shell on the left with a fairway bunker on the right. When you hit the fairway, you will get your first view of the narrow fairway approaching the green with left side lake and a waste area right. With the shallow green and cavernous bunkers guarding the front, hitting the green depends on the correct club selection. There is a very noticeable ridge dividing the green front to back. No matter what the putt you have, be careful of the speed and play plenty of break. When you arrive at the tee complex of this 192-yard par 3, you will first notice tee pods on both sides of the cart path. This enhances the diversity of angle and yardages for this hole. Number 8 is designed as a Redan hole. Replicating a piece of history, this hole is designed after the original Redan at the famed West Links at North Berwick in Scotland. The green here is slightly elevated like a fortress and slopes away from the tee. The tricky green begins to slope from the center toward the back of the green. Experienced players will utilize the large slope on the right side, which guides the ball towards most pin positions. Number 9 is a 598-yard par 5. The tee shot exemplifies risk-reward with 2 bunkers dividing the upper and lower fairways. The safe route for the shorter driver is the lower right fairway. This does, however, leave you with a blind second shot. The reward for going left to the upper fairway is a clean view for the second shot. The large green, over 110 feet in length, is situated diagonally and has a pronounced swale through the middle. Beware of finding yourself in the left-hand greenside bunkers. Your recovery is challenged by the green sloping directly to the lake. The lake on the right is always in play from tee to green. Number 10 is the shortest par 4 on the course. Robert Trent Jones Jr. description of the playing philosophy of Kensington definitely is illustrated here. He says, brains, not brawn, are essential to be successful. Finesse is the name of the game on this hole. Water runs down the entire left side of the hole, and the elevated green is surrounded by deep bunkers. This is also the smallest green on the course. Beware of any pin position, center or left of center. There is a large trap you cannot see from the fairway that awaits any misguided shots. Number 11 is the 4th par 3 of the day at 199 yards. This hole has a deep green, so the most important thing here is club selection. Once again, you are faced with a very discreet elevation change. You may want to consider taking one more club. A back right pin position is challenged by the often visited bunker. Number 12 is a long sweeping dogleg left par 5, which offers the long hitters one of the rare opportunities to go for a par 5 in 2. Most players will not be able to cut the corner over the lake, which forces them into the dilemma of playing short of the diagonal set of bunkers that dissect the fairway, or being bold and attempt to go over. Again, local knowledge is a plus here. Because of the green configuration, pins placed on the right of the hill on the green will often attract aggressive shots that can roll down away from the hole to the far left side of the green. Number 13 is a modest 374-yard par 4. This hole has a split fairway with an imposing bunker on the right side. The longer hitter can take on the left side lake and gain easier access to most pin positions. The false front of this green is very treacherous. The bunker on the right of the green, the deep ball collection area left, and the false front provides a challenge to even the shortest of approach shots. Number 14 begins with what has been endearingly referred to as the beginning of Kensington's version of Amen Corner. This is the final and longest par 3 on the course at 224 yards. The green is wide and fairly shallow. The back left side falls away towards a steep collection area. Any shots hit left are faced with a very difficult recovery shot from below the green over a steep hill. Miss the green, bogey is likely. Number 15 is one of the truly great par 4s. Tee shot is hit to an elevated fairway which provides a beautiful vista of the green below. Errant shots off to the right can bring a tree line into play, and the left side has a drop off to coquina shell and water. Your most safe second shot is to center of the green. Any pin position left can attract missed shots catching the hill that slopes down to the water, and the pins tucked back right bring the front bunker into play. On number 16, you have now reached the longest par 5 at 617 yards. The tee shot is welcomed by a fairly generous landing area, as is the second shot. The left side is guarded by a continuous waste area next to the lake from the landing area all the way to the green. When hitting into the green, use caution. The green is deep and imposing bunker on the left and a valley that feeds balls into a collection area to the right. Be cautious of front pin positions. It is very easy to leave the ball short of the green. Just when you have a good round going, you arrive at number 17. This could easily be referred to as the widow's walk, because so many great rounds are compromised on this closing hole. Again, the risk-reward feature is presented here. Depending on how much of the corner you challenge on this dogleg left par 4, the hole can be made easier if you are bold and successful. Most players avoid the left side lake, forcing a much longer second shot. Regardless, all approach shots will be challenged by the inconspicuous hill on the right front of the green. Any shots turning toward the left side of the green are most assuredly going to roll down the hill into the water. Number 18 is a 430-yard par 4 to a well-defended green. Makes this one of the most admired finishing holes. There is a very generous landing area, but that is quickly diminished on the second shot. With a beautiful view of the clubhouse, you will soon notice the lake looming on the left and narrow opening to the green. Any shots hit too far right, trying to avoid the water, affectionately known as Titleist Bay, may find themselves in the bunker or with a difficult pitch shot that ultimately releases towards the water. After you putt, you can't wait to play this great course again.